Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. Today we talk about over the past week, and I guess several weeks out there, some information revolving around a team known as RCD Espanyol from the Rocket League scene, and an organization who, by the way, formerly did contract all three of those players, no longer does, and ever since, once the team did not compete in the RLCS promotional playoffs for the Rocket League Championship Series, the highest achievement of any Rocket League team and trio can actually achieve, well, their former organization, no longer contracting the players, is now calling out to say Psyonix banned them from the promotional playoffs and the entire event. And all of this around RCD, one of their members being Tox as well. Completely irrelevant is the other stories we failed to mention because there's just been so much going on, but that's one of their members known as Tox. It was actually a while back during a smaller Rocket League Cup. He was banned completely for both toxic behavior and apparently using a cheat known as the Russian rotation, using a menu option to actually spawn back on your side of the field. He actually responded to that saying it was a misclick. Other accusations surfaced against him, and he tried to combat that. Either way, he was banned from that smaller cup. Just this past week as well, it was actually mid-series, supposedly during the game, at least during some point, he was actually tweeting out and flaming the opposing team during that matchup. So a lot going against this guy, albeit though, those are both completely irrelevant to this story of the organization now apparently not having them under contract and also calling for Psyonix to ban them from the event. It was actually on LinkedIn that a former management member of this organization, so keep in mind it's a former management member for RCD, now calling out against these players. He takes to LinkedIn to talk about this and to preach to Psyonix to not let them play. As he states, the sector needs more than ever all the actors to be up to the task, but when the players, often inexperienced, do not act with the principles they are expected to have, it must be the publisher who puts on the board that above all, there are values, principles, and ethics that everyone should have and respect. Under no circumstances should hashtag gamers that have represented RCD and the RLRS play the promotional tournament for the RLCS tomorrow. This makes total sense. Yes, you no longer contract a trio in Rocket League, but you're calling for Psyonix to just simply not let them play based off their past actions. No further context was given. We've actually been clarified, though, by another Rocket League member from Team Endpoint, that being Virtuoso, that Tox and his former accusations against him had nothing to do with this. In fact, according to Virtuoso, their contracts were actually up nearly 2 weeks ago, and the organization has been iffy and a bit suspicious about this ever since the opening deal, which also involved Tox signing a contract with the team despite him being 16, not having a co-signer, which means his contract was not even legal and actually enforceable, and so the team is no longer with the organization, not because they were released, but because the contracts are simply up and expired. So the team, when they actually said, hey, we released these guys, it's just simply, according to Virtuoso, not true because their contracts were already up. And in fact, one of their contracts with Tox was already void. If you guys remember, we talked about this with different guidelines around Scrub Killa. He himself also not 18 years of age. So Mouse Sports, when they signed him, they also asked his dad or his father to be a co-signer as well. Different circumstances, different guidelines, kind of a similar crossover here to Tox though. And so yeah, when it comes time to the entire headline, guys, we have an organization who says they released a trio. According to that trio, though, they were not released. Their contracts were up, and that same organization that released them is now calling on the publisher, that being Psyonix, to not let them play the biggest tournament of their year so far to try and make the Rocket League Championship Series. With all the context we have now, I don't want to make prejudgments here. This simply makes no sense whatsoever, especially because we have no explanation as to why this former guy for RCD, so maybe not even a representative for the organization, so that's why it could be taken out of context with the titling we've seen with other articles out there as well. Why? What happened? Was it Tox and his prior accusations? What kind of behavior did they do? What kind of actions did they take that the organization is now calling for the publisher of Rocket League to not allow them to play, which, by the way, it didn't work out, by the way. The trio played under a different name. Either way, RCD is now leaving Rocket League. Ta-ta, they are going to FIFA, and hopefully next time we cover them will be a bit of a happier story if they can bounce back from this. Either way, best of luck to RCD and their future ventures in esports. We'll see how that goes. Best of luck to Tox as well, who has since apologized for many of his actions, and his teammates as well for their future in Rocket League. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Have a great, safe week, and I'll see you guys back here sometime soon.